Hey YouTubers, I'm the Tailorette and welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking about how I make my pleated trim for my Civil War dress that is in my dress shop. I was able to add the sleeves and I finished off the neckline a little bit and put the waistband on, and now it's ready for the trim and the skirt, and then it's done. So the first step is to cut our strips. I'm going to cut 3 strips at 3.5 inches. This is 45-inch wide fabric. However, depending on how much trim you're making, that would vary depending on your project. This is just for the neckline. I'm just going around the neckline and down the front. So in this step, I'm literally connecting the ends together. So it's making one long piece. I didn't even cut the selvage off. I'll probably sew it at 1/2 inch on each end of the strip so that it completely gets rid of the selvage on the ends. Pressing these flat open, we don't want any extra bulk. I did put steam in here, so there's water in my iron. I'm going to fold it over 1.25 inches. Go all the way down. So now I'm going to flip it around. We're going to do the other side of this strip, and now I'm going to fold it over 1/2 inch. It's gonna seem odd, but you'll see why. And I'm going to press it down basically so that the middle is meeting right here. Now this is the fun part. I'm going to eyeball it. So the first step is I'm going to fold this over 1/4 inch, and then I'll press it. Take a pin it. I kind of want mine to look sort of square, so I'm going for a square-ish rectangle. Press it, make sure it looks even. Let's see if mine is square. 1 3/8 inches. So yes, that's square-ish or rectangle-ish. And then I'll take about the same distance away, 1 3/8 away. I finished pressing all of the trim into the pleats. Now, I didn't do the whole strip because I realized I had a lot left over and I really don't feel like I need a whole lot just to go around here. First, I will start right at the bottom here. This is the end of the trim here, and I'll take the first pin out and fold this under, stick that pin back in there so that it's a clean edge there. And now I want to divide this front part in half. It's 1 3/4 inch, so half of 1 3/4 is 7/8 inch. So I'm going to stick a pin right at the 7/8 mark. And then now if you look at the back, this side is the 1/2 inch and this is the 1 1/4 side. So we want this 1/2 inch to be on this side, not over here, but on this side. Because I don't know if you can see, but here's our center and here's the 1/2 inch mark. And when we stitch this down, it's gonna be hidden behind here. It's not gonna be sticking out here, because if we did it the other way around, and we pinned it, say it was on the outside, then you flip it and you can see that raw edge. Whereas now that I'm flipping it this way, you have the 1/2 inch and this is the 1/2 here. You look on the back, if you flip it this way, after you stitch it, you don't see the raw edge. So I'm going to start pinning all the way up the bodice now. Now that we're gonna get started down the center, match this with the fold in the front and pin it right there. Just right there to get it started. Move this pin over here. So it's kind of hard to see what is 7/8 seeing on the other side, so I'm going to flip it this way. Make sure it's sticking out 7/8. So I'll pin it from the back first, like this. So now that I'm at the corner, I just literally turn it like this, and I want it to gradually, right here, I want to gradually start lining up with the edge once it gets up here. I don't want it to be sticking out 7/8. So I'm going to see where it meets the neckline up there, pin it up here. And then obviously this doesn't look super fantastic. Work on pinning this side down. And now this piece right here, it's kind of lumped out. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to kind of refold it. Take out both sides actually, because I don't want it to look crooked. You'll have to play with it. So there, we have a nice curve. at the top front there. Now I'm going to pin and just continue pinning all the way around the neckline. As I mentioned before, I gradually bring it in here and start lining it up with the edge of the neckline. It's not sticking out over the edge. Okay, so here's the deal. Now we're getting to the back of the neckline and I'm dealing with some gaping here as I curve it around the back. I bring it around, and even though it's bubbling here, I'll find the center back and I put a pin in the back here. And then I start to adjust these pleats over here. I'll take this pin out here and refold that underneath so that it goes with the curve. And that we want it all flat. Flat is hugely important to me. And you'll have to fiddle with this. It takes practice. Take this out. I'm going to literally cut it on a diagonal here and then fold this underneath. There we go. And this part won't show because as this goes over, yeah, you're not going to see it. Because I have this back side here that's open, and I'm going to stitch down here even though there's no back to it just to keep the pleats down. This makes it nice and final, all the finishing touches. As you can see, because I overlapped this piece, I pinned it here. I'm going to put hooks and eyes here, but that's how it'll come to a closure in the front. And the reason why I overlapped it is because if I lined it up with the edge here, the trim would have looked off center, but I wanted it to come down the center of the bodice. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've learned a thing or two about technique and trims. And hit the subscribe button and like this video. I have lots of work to do, so I will see you all next week.